Yo, GM, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Phase Live. Today, we've got an absolute banger lined up, and it's episode 19 today. So we got one more episode, and then it'll be our 20th episode, which is pretty exciting. But for today, we've got Justin and Julian joining us from LiFi. What's up, boys? How are we doing?
All good, and you?
Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good. How's it, Justin?
Yeah, pretty good. It's a hot day in Cape Town today. I'm sure you, well aware in Paarl. But yeah, we're sitting in 36 degrees right now. So it's been quite the day, but yeah, it's beautiful. So very happy.
Brother, believe me, 36 is child's play. In Paarl yesterday, it was 51. I'm not joking.
We're actually 51.
51, dude. The hottest day ever recorded in South Africa. The hottest temperature ever recorded in South Africa.
That is crazy. Yeah, I was just on my weather app and I actually checked Paarl to just see how hot it was that side. So yeah, big love to you guys out there.
Thanks, dude. I'm sitting here in my studio cooking, but anyway, it's all good. We've obviously also got Seb, the co-founder of Phase and CMO, who is completely blurred out.
Oh, there we go. Thank God, dude.
Well done.
Honestly, I don't know why I haven't sorted this out to this point, but this webcam, dude, it just it either decides to completely blur me totally or just not work. But I'm back, so the hand trick seemed to have worked. But yeah, thanks. Stoked to be here as always. Stoked to have Justin on and Julian. Obviously, Justin's a fellow South African, so always nice to hang out with the boys back home and chat a little bit about what they're doing in the space. So yeah, honestly, sorry for you guys being all hot there in Cape Town, but it's actually your turn because Houston's finally got a cool day. It's not too hot over here in Houston, finally. So I think I threw the heat over to you guys, but yeah, stoked to chat to you both today.
Yeah, I'm literally sitting here with an ice pack and my bottle of water. That's how hot it is. I'm like dying here. But it's all good.
Guys, unfortunately, there's no central AC in South Africa, which is honestly, God's gift to this earth in America is the fact that there's a little vent in the room that spurts out cold air. It's insane, dude.
That's
you boys should try it. Yeah.
In the UK, they've got central heating. In America, they've got central cooling. In South Africa, we've just got nothing.
Nothing, yeah. A fan.
We have our own air cons.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Anyway, all right. Well, without further ado, I think let's start by giving you guys the floor to just give yourselves an introduction. You don't need to keep it short. Tell us about yourselves. Tell us about your crypto journey, how you got into the space, and give us a little bit of an idea of how you found your way to now working at LiFi. Let's start with you, Justin. Go for it, brother.
Cool. Justin here. I got into crypto around 2016, 17, and I've been pretty much fully involved ever since. Started with LiFi just around a year ago now. I'm the Solana ecosystem manager, so looking after sort of all things Solana, sit between the sort of product team and partnerships. So sort of got my eyes on both sort of realms, and help sort of guide the strategic decisions around the product on the Solana side. So run our validators and just wear a couple of hats. So LiFi has been incredible. I'm sure we'll dive into it pretty deep today. We've got some really exciting new features out, and really just excited to chat about it today.
Amazing. Sounds good, man. And tell me quickly before I move on to Julian, is it LiFi? I thought it was LiFi.
No, it's LiFi. Yeah.
Lee. Okay. All right. So Lee, like lychee, I guess, right?
Yeah. So it's short for linked finance.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. I didn't even know that that's what it was short for, but it sounds so cool though. It's like you have like DeFi and then you have TradFi and then you have LiFi. It just like works, right?
Like it.
Yeah. All righty. Julian, what about yourself, man? Tell us a little bit about you. Where are you based?
I'm based in Buenos Aires, Argentina, guys. So
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's also summertime for me. It's not that hot as it is in South Africa right now. It's around 24 Celsius degrees now, so we're good. But yeah, lovely weather. I've been in crypto since 2020. I started working at the local exchange here in Argentina. Then we got acquired by blockchain.com, so I joined the blockchain.com team. And after a few years working there, I joined LiFi more than 2 years ago. I started as a head of LATAM for LiFi, and then I moved to different kind of tasks and roles within the company. Nowadays I'm helping on the ecosystem team on the chain expansion, and also helping to onboard multiple solvers to one of our products that are coming in the next few months. So I'm now working more on the product and ecosystem side of the company.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. Sounds good.
Argentina is
all right,
awesome, by the way. I was out there
yeah.
last year for the staking summit. Me and
Nice.
I'll see you. Yeah. Absolutely incredible place, man. Can't go wrong with some Malbec and some good old, like grills out there, It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never made it out to Argentina before, but definitely keen to come check it out someday and visit. In fact, I want to do I've got to do all of America one day, like North America, South America, get down to Mexico. Yeah, Argentina, definitely got to get over. I'd love to go to Brazil as well, actually.
It's beautiful, Brazil. I've been many times there, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Great
definitely one day.
people.
We have braais in South Africa. You guys have asados.
Yeah,
Asado.
Yes,
exactly.
that's what I was trying. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, asados. Yeah.
That sounds good. So, what is an asado? Is it exactly the same as a braai, or is it different?
Yeah, it's quite similar, right? I mean, I never tried a braai, but I think it's quite
I think
similar.
you guys go a bit more extravagant though. I feel like it's it's almost a little bit more kind of like we just some chops, chicken, some braaibroodjies, maybe a skilpaakie and some veggie. Like when I went to one when I was there, it's quite an assortment of meat, and it's
Yeah,
it feels almost a little bit more kind of like what's
a ritual.
Yeah, a ritual, and also a little bit I guess almost a little fancier in a sense. It's a little bit more put together. Maybe that's just the experience I had with the people that I was with, but ours feels a little bit more just fucking throw it on there, throw some salt and you're good to go,
And then in Australia, they just have barbecues, shrimp on the barbie.
Shrimp on the barbie, yeah. And then in the US, they have just the grills, and it's basically just patties, hamburger patties, and Viennas for hot dogs.
Oh, Viennas.
Maybe a couple of meat here and there, but the barbecue here is that's their version of what grill asado. It's or braai. It's ridiculous, bro. Barbecue here is insane. They go ham.
Last one for you. I had a mate who was in New Zealand. Actually, Seb, you might know because Mint's in New Zealand, one of our fellow Phase team members. We can actually maybe talk about, I don't know, are we allowed to talk about the top secret thing? Yes, we are allowed to talk about it.
With the stream?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we can talk about it. Maybe we
Towards
talk
the
about it a
end.
bit later.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, sorry, before I digress completely wildly, is so Professor Mint, who is one of our other team members at Phase, in New Zealand, he's in New Zealand, and in New Zealand, they've got a different version of a braai, if I'm not mistaken, where they put the meat into banana leaves, and then they dig a hole in the ground, and then they make a fire, and then they take the rocks from the fire and they bury it in the hole in the ground, and then they put the meat with banana leaves and they cook it inside there. They bury it, and then they take it out 4 hours later, and it's all soft and stuff.
Jeez, 4 hours is a bit long, eh?
A little bit, yeah. It sounds like a South African braai. You arrive at the braai at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the guys only start making the fire at 6 o'clock because everyone's too busy drinking. Yeah, and then it gets to 9 o'clock, and the guys are okay, it's almost, the fire's almost ready to braai. And then you only braai at 10 o'clock, and you end up eating at midnight, and you go home at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Unless you get too drunk to eat it, and your friend who was cooking it burnt it, so that you just gotta,
I mean, it happens. It happens only in South Africa. Yeah, anyway, all right. Let's dive into LiFi, not LiFi. Perhaps you can give us a breakdown of exactly what it is, how it works, and dive into your ecosystem. Whichever one of you wants to go for it, maybe Justin, I don't know if you want to give us an explanation.
Yeah, definitely. So all in all, LiFi is sort of aiming to be, it is sort of an orchestration layer for any on-chain action. So what that looks like is we aggregate around 50 different protocols now, be it bridges, dexes, every single major provider in both of these sort of ecosystems or verticals. We aggregate, so we allow for cross-chain swaps across 64 different blockchains. And
wow.
Yeah, so we're pretty well distributed in terms of that. So essentially, moving liquidity across any chain is available through our API. What we've done now is there's been a sort of shift in something where we saw is that sort of the yield opportunities across different chains are also sort of very hard to access, and the information is very scattered and fragmented between a lot of different opportunities and a lot of different sort of just yield opportunities. So the new product that we've just launched is called Composer, which is essentially allows you to orchestrate various different on-chain actions into one transaction. So if you're sitting, for instance, on Arbitrum with USDC and you want to stake into a Ethereum vault or a Morpho vault, we can actually do that in one click. So you just put the amount that you want to deposit.
No way.
And bundle together swaps, bridging, and the deposit into these different vault protocols. So that's our new Composer product. We've got some other really exciting things coming out this year that we can't yet speak about. But yeah, we pretty much are just boosting out the current offering and adding a lot of different functionality that unlocks different use cases. So yeah, these products have been in the works for like a year and a half now. So we're really excited to ship them. And yeah, I mean, these products are really strong for, wallets. We provide the cross-chain infra for the majority of major wallets, big protocols, onboarding capital from different chains. Composer is really strong for something like a neobank, where the users don't necessarily, they're not crypto native, but they want to get yield opportunities across different chains. And now it's really accessible for them to actually take part in these different yield products. One-click flows. They don't really need to know where their funds are sitting, which chains they're interacting with. They don't really need to understand the tech behind it. So yeah, that's what we're really excited on. And yeah, that's pretty much LiFi in a nutshell.
Amazing. That's super interesting. So you guys are like an aggregator for all of the aggregators. Like, I mean, if you think about Jupiter is like an aggregator for swaps, right? So it takes the best prices across various pools and gives you like the best fees or whatever. And you guys are essentially doing that. So you're doing that for all of the dexes essentially, and like bridges and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have all of the major players. But what makes it really special is that we aggregate bridges, dexes, all of the above, and then we can do pretty sophisticated things with that. We can bundle together different swaps and bridging. We can do implicit swaps before a bridge to get it into a token that maybe we can do a mint and burn. Maybe it's an interrupt token standard. And then we can do big transfers cross-chain. We've also done integrations to get one-to-one stablecoin bridging. So you can mint, you can bridge over sort of however much you want and get that exact amount in the destination chain. So yeah, we aggregate a lot of protocols, but then also the magic is in sort of what we're able to do with that. Julian, you had something to say there. Sorry, I bumped into you.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that we started as a cross-chain aggregator, as you mentioned, aggregating different dex aggregators, but we are also rolling out our own in-house products such as Composer and different tools that we have been building for the past year and a half. So yeah, we started as a cross-chain aggregator, aggregating all these different bridges, dexes, and dex aggregators, and we still believe is our core business because that's the only way to connect all this fragmented liquidity out there.
Amazing. Awesome. Seb, I know there was a couple of questions you wanted to ask. I don't know if you'd like to kick off with one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it's like what you guys are offering is I think so needed in this kind of fragmented like crypto landscape that we have, right? I mean, in the end of the day, like there's always been a lot of tribalism in the space, right? But it's kind of like cross-chain infra is super important because it's like if we want this to be if we want to bring ecosystems together and make crypto just feel like seamless, like this kind of stuff is needed. I mean, there's obviously a lot of complications that come with it, right? So like, what would you say is some of the biggest complications you guys have had to solve, maybe specifically in the last year or 2 years or whatever, when building out this infrastructure, maybe kind of more directed towards Solana? Because I think Solana was more of like a recent move for LiFi. I don't know if it was like how many years you guys have been kind of like doing stuff on Solana, but like, what does that what does that move like? And if not Solana, like which blockchains were kind of like really just quite a challenge? And have you guys managed to solve those kind of challenges for the most part? But yeah, let's see if we can focus on Solana. That'll be cool, just for the audience.
Definitely. So yeah, we've been around for around 4 years now. I think we shipped our first sort of Solana implementation around 2 years ago. And yeah, launched with Phantom. And yeah, we now obviously sort of providing the infra for most of those big wallets. But I think sort of traditionally we have something called the diamond contract. There's various different ways that we needed to integrate various different bridges into this and to enable this sort of more complex transaction sort of bundling, routing, whatever you want to call it. The way that we had to integrate different tools on the different chains was quite a lot of overhead for us. So this new product that's coming out in around 10 days, 12 days, really helps with that. It helps us to deploy onto new chains easier, more efficiently, more quickly, and yeah, just be able to service those routes a lot faster without needing to rely on anybody else. And that's sort of what was the other piece of the picture, was that when we were doing these sort of big day one chain launches, being an aggregator, we need a lot of the protocols to have their products completely ready. And testing this before all of those products were ready was really difficult. So that's what we've sort of been building these next products for. And we've also sort of made some acquisitions of various teams to try and internalize more of the stack, so that we actually have control over more of it. So that's been a really strong push over this past year and a half, is to really get a lot of these products in-house so that we have all of the power to ship where we want, provide routes where we want, and yeah, really just be able to sort of scale where we need to without relying on external parties. So that's been a big sort of push. Obviously, Solana is a little bit more tricky coming from EVM. It was a completely different ball game. But yeah, the team is really incredible. We've got some amazing developers, and yeah, we've really been taking the Solana product a lot more seriously over this past year. So we're getting it to a really, really strong place now. And yeah, there's a lot of features that we are shipping and currently working on now that are really going to be beneficial for the Solana ecosystem. Yeah, there's a lot going on. But yeah, it obviously was a little bit of a challenge initially. But I feel like we've made some really, really strong strides now, and the product is very, very strong. So we're very happy with it. Julian, do you have anything to add there?
I think it's quite complete what you just mentioned.
Then just to follow up with that, maybe just so for anyone listening or watching, it's like, where would a user be using LiFi within, like, let's say Phantom, right? Like, is it the cross-chain swap functionality, I'm assuming? Like, where are some other places that people are using LiFi and they don't even know that they're using it, right? Like, I think Phantom's probably a big one. I think most people probably would not even know that they're using the infrastructure from LiFi. What else on Solana are they maybe using that that they wouldn't even know you guys are providing, either, support, cross-chain support for, or liquidity or swapping or whatever that may be?
Yeah, so we have obviously all the major big wallets: MetaMask, Phantom, sort of Binance Wallet, Robinhood. So we've got, and Ledger as well. So sort of everybody who has interacted with crypto has likely used us on the back end before. A lot of protocols use us for crypto deposits. So if you've used Fidgetals, they use us for cross-chain deposits. If you've gone to Arena's front end, that is us. So we provide different swaps between different stable coins there. So we are pretty distributed, and we've gotten a couple of really cool partnerships to be announced in the coming weeks. But yeah, so you pretty much definitely used us somewhere. But yeah, so we kind of are in a lot of situations, it's an API integration, and people have built their own sort of execution on top. And yeah, so sometimes you wouldn't have sort of known unless you're going into sort of the transaction data behind it. But yeah, we've been working with a lot of awesome partners now. So when you ever sort of interact with our widgets, if you've even used Jumper Exchange, that is our B2C front end. So a lot of sort of customers know of Jumper rather than LiFi, because LiFi is obviously sort of purely B2B.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah, so
That's interesting. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
That's why it's cool. It's cool to know, or to for people to know, like, oh damn, like for Fidgetals, for instance, right? Like that's obviously a huge market. The online collectibles, TCGs and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's cool to know that you're using something like LiFi in the back end to get the job done, right? Because as you say, B2B, generally you guys don't get as much of the love that that a lot of the front end, whatever aspects of companies are getting, right? Like they don't even know they're using your service. You're actually helping make whatever they're doing actually possible. And I think just like a last question I'll give for both of you, right, is, and I think it's probably one that people always be interested in, but like with kind of the rise of, just how important like APIs have become in like people who want to build apps just with AI, the ease of use, right? Like APIs are like everything nowadays, right? Like APIs are probably better than MCPs or whatever for the most part. It's just like, that's like the real, I feel like, game changer going forward, because if a service can provide, or a company can provide, a really, really streamlined and solid API, people can just build whatever they want with it. So have you guys been like kind of looking into that area? I'm sure that's also helped you guys increase productivity hugely. But what does that look like for users of your guys' product? Like, have you noticed a large influx of users building things with your APIs? And even on your guys' end, how has like AI helped to kind of increase your guys' growth and workflow? You don't have to share everything, but just in general, right? That is kind of the hot topic, and we all know how crazy things are getting. So yeah, excited to see what people are building with LiFi and the potential that people can have with using your guys' APIs and SDKs and things like that, especially with this, renewed accessibility.
Yeah. Nowadays, I think there are so many different use cases for LiFi. So we have people integrated LiFi in really different and strange use cases, which is great. From our side, LiFi can be integrated as an API, SDK, or widget. Of course, the API is gonna be always the most comprehensive one, but it's gonna take longer. But the feedback we get from all of our clients and the builders is that docs are very well drafted, very well written. So they are super happy with our docs, and that's thanks to our DevRel team. So thank you, Kenny and team, for writing those amazing docs, because when we talk to partners, one of the best feedbacks that we receive is that basically the docs are very well prepared for everyone. And nowadays, for example, we have written this API, we have prepared this API for agents, for AI agents. And we actually have a competition of 5 different agents for 7 days this week.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
They are all trading. There's a trading competition. They're all trading with our API, and it's kind of fun to see all these different use cases. So you can even see the competition live, how it goes. I think yesterday Claude was winning the competition, but I don't know. I haven't watched it today. So we gave all of these LLMs our API, and they are building different strategies and trading different assets for 7 days, 24/7, by using LiFi. So yeah, there are so many different use cases nowadays, and so many people building different things with LiFi, because probably what people think is that the basic use case of cross-chain swaps is the only thing that they can build with LiFi. But when they start exploring different integrations, they realize that they can do multiple things, like different arbitrage bots, agents, wallets, protocols. So there are so many things that can be done with LiFi. So yeah, we are always happy to hear when we find a new use case, and we are always keen to dive more into those new cases.
I love that. I want to quickly see, is this currently accurate? I think this was March 10th. So it's about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But okay, so Claude's number one, portfolio value of $1,000. So Claude's made $31, not bad. Gemini 18, Grok 9. I'm surprised Grok actually not doing too badly here. Minimax, Minmax, I've never used Minimax, but $6 not bad. GPT $5. Come on, GPT, get it together, man. That's honestly hilarious. That's super cool that you guys are doing that. Honestly, I feel like stuff like that is.
I'm actually surprised that they are making money with these market conditions. You know?
Legitimately, dude.
They're probably just short.
Yeah, shorting.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the live. Okay, so here's the live site. Wait, let me just get this up because this is something interesting to talk about. I think in general, it's just kind of like, it's pretty incredible just like how much technology has moved in the last, like, I guess like 2.5 months, right? Like from our side, it was really kind of like the Opus, like the release of Opus 4.5 or was it 4.6 that really kind of changed the game. But let's see. Okay, so Agentic Quant Wars, okay, powered by LiFi, 3 day into the arena. All right. So okay, Gemini is actually winning. Gemini seems to be Claude's now. Oh, Claude made a very bad trade. Shit, dude. Okay, so
last to first and now back to last. So
dude, he fucked up, bro. That's a yeah, all the way down.
I think what must have happened with Claude is it probably like it couldn't close a position or something, maybe, like, and something was left open and it, I don't know, dumped or something. But jeepers, how much is it down by, Seb? Is that $100?
No, so yeah,
you can go down
17
further down, and then you can see the different positions that the bots are holding. So if you go down even more, yeah, and you can go see the constituents of what each of them is holding right now. If you go view,
Claude got wrecked.
ETH, Sol, Aave, USDC, ETH. What did he get fucked on, dude? That's hilarious, man. GPT, just USDC and ETH. That sounds very GPT. There's no risk at all. Minmax, okay, ETH, USDC, Grok, USDC, W wrapped ETH, all right. Gemini, ETH, Link, USDC, Arrow. Dude, Claude is like, he ain't messing around, bro. He's going for it. He's just going hard. Okay, that's absolutely epic, man. I love that you guys actually did this. Did you guys vibe code this yourself, or did you guys like well, I mean, I don't know if you guys just made it yourselves, but this is awesome. This is super cool.
Yeah, we actually just hired a new head of AI, and it's a workplace automation engineer. So this week is sort of one of our big AI pushes. So we've got a lot of sort of news coming out this week. We've got different competitions, different people sort of building with our MCP and our API. So it's been really cool to see what people are coming up with, what they're building, sort of, you know, cross-chain yield strategies and rebalancing across different blockchains, being able to buy things immediately across different chains. So I think what's really nice is that we're sort of building the plumbing behind all of this, and that has been our sort of bread and butter for 4 years now. So it's really cool to see people able to sort of quickly whip up these different use cases and use these sort of agents and sort of this coding capabilities of all these tools to build out these use cases. So it's been really, really cool to just see what's coming out. And I'm really nervous / excited to see what comes out over the next year. You know, these tools are getting so good so fast. And I mean, OpenClaw, all of these things didn't even exist 2 months ago. So it's to see the speed at which things are happening. So for us, we're sort of building out all of these different pieces and all these different products that we're bringing out now. I think the capabilities of these agents, just by using a single LiFi MCP, is going to be really, really strong. So we're really excited for that.
Yeah, I think you guys are in a good position, right? I think in the end of the day, like we make the joke, like apps are dead. Because basically they are dead, right? Anyone can build their own app. Like it's all about MCPs, APIs, who can pull the best data, because you don't need, if someone can provide me with that, then why would I use someone else's application if I'm good enough to just put something together that does what it needs to do for me? I guess simple applications and things like that, like, you know, obviously there's obviously levels to this, right? But like, I think, you know, as a provider of these tools that allow people to build things, it's like, no brainer. Like I think the B2B products are all sitting pretty with their APIs and stuff, and all the people that have built, like think of applications like Salesforce and all these kinds of things. Like they're definitely sweating, you know, like a kid in a bedroom with 4 of his friends could probably build like an app as good, maybe not all the distribution and clients, but still something relatively really good. I don't know. It's just it's going to be interesting. The next couple of years are going to be interesting to see the upset in kind of like a legacy companies and B2C applications and things like that. But yeah, anyway,
I think everyone's sort of ideas are going to be so easy to build. So it kind of comes down, in my mind, to a game of distribution and how many do you have, how many users do you have, how sticky is your protocol? Are people coming back to it every day? And I think it's nice that sort of, well, in my mind, it's cool that the engineering side of it is sort of leveling out, and everybody's sort of getting more capabilities with smaller teams, and they're actually able to build out these products. So now it comes down to sort of who has the best ideas, who can sort of think about the next step that is the innovative idea, and who has the distribution to distribute it. So the some of the playing field is being leveled and some of it's not. So it's interesting to see where this is all going to sort of land.
Yeah, I think security is a big issue, right? For teams that don't know what they're doing, like people just throwing apps up and doing it, but with not the necessary like audit checks and things like that. Because regardless of how good AI code feels right now, it's probably still a while till we have like proper security on a lot of these things for people who don't have a full stack dev or someone who can actually like have a look and be like, or back end dev that actually has the knowledge to be like, whoa, okay, there's quite a few vulnerabilities here that Claude did not find and your agents didn't find either. But anyway, Chris, back to you, man. I know you have some more questions as well.
Yeah, I do, but I just want to say one more thing, kind of whilst we're on the AI topic. Something that I've been thinking about quite a lot lately is if you think about image generation, right? AI image generation was kind of the first step in really revealing AI to us, right? With Midjourney. I think Midjourney for me was my first taste of AI before anything else. And it was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Midjourney was actually out before ChatGPT even came out. And if you look at the progression of image and video generation and where that's gone over the last 2 years, like you went from like people having like weird hands and like spinning around and shit to now having people literally making feature-length films in 8K using tools like Higgsfield and stuff. And if that's what the visual side of AI is doing, right? What is the financial and like technological side of things? How is the evolution, like how is the progression of that going to look? Because I almost feel like that's kind of come a little bit later. And we're seeing now with like OpenClaw and like people building these agents that can trade and all of this stuff. It's like the beginning, right? That's like early days. What is it going to be like in 2 years from now? Like I can't wait to see what people like create and shit over the next like 2-3 years.
I guess on that note, what do you guys think? What do you think people are going to be creating with LiFi over the next 2 to 3 years?
That's actually a good question. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from the LiFi perspective, we are really making it easy to move any asset on any chain to any other asset on any other chain. I'm wondering what's gonna happen in 2 years because we have been solving this problem for already 4 years. But of course, this problem is gonna be bigger in 2 years. But at the same time, there's gonna be so many different use cases out there to explore. And I'm really curious to see how this AI agents trend goes and how it mixes with crypto, right? Because there is a huge intersection there that we are just getting started at. Like, for example, this trading competition, right? Which started just as a game, but it cannot be. It could be also something that trading firms or different institutional players will be using for real, right? Mixing AI with trading, with any on-chain action. So, yeah. And then from the personal perspective, I don't know where this is gonna land.
Yeah. I mean, in crypto,
It-
in any way, right? Like, it's like even before AI, it was like, well, we didn't even know what was going to happen in the next 2 months, like the next 2 months,
Exactly.
let alone 2 years. And this is now even more exponential. Like, it's just only getting better and better. What is your guys' opinion on like the data wall? Have you heard of the data wall? Right? Like, but I don't know if that's the exact term, but it's like essentially AI is easy to kind of continually keep hyped because there's more data that it can learn, right? Like, there's still more internet data, there's still more coding data, but at some point, right, like, it's going to learn the entirety of the internet, like, and that could be a lot sooner than we think. And then it's very hard for it to have more updates on information, right? It's like we're going to hit a wall where there's not much more data for it to actually consume, and it's consumed all the data in the world, and it's kind of like, well, there's going to be a lull period, like, which is kind of an interesting thing to think about. You have heard of this concept or this, Chris? You have something?
Okay. Here's where I think this is going to get really interesting. So, obviously, yes, I agree with you. The internet is limited in its information, right? And the access to certain information is also limited. There's only so much you can find online, but you can pretty much find anything. But where it gets interesting is where AI starts learning things for itself, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I'll give you an example. AI starts playing around with maybe it starts sequencing 1 million different chemical combinations, and AI creates a new element, right? Or it starts thinking for itself with all of the knowledge on the internet, like what can it create that humans can't create? And that's when AI kind of goes past the wall, in my opinion, is when it starts.
Well, that's AGI.
Out.
That would be AGI, and then it's over. Like, if we get AGI, artificial general intelligence, that's like that's whichever company does that creates a god. Like, and if they can control that god, they can control the world. I know this is pretty great, like doomsday shit, but it is. It's pretty naughty, right? Like, if we get to the point where artificial general intelligence exists, you've created a digital being that is actually like smarter than us. Like, that's crazy, right? And then I wonder what he or she or it's gonna build with LiFi, bro. It's probably gonna do the craziest AI trading shit, bro. But anyway, not to
rug everyone.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
we've gotten a bit sidetracked, but that's okay. I love talking about this stuff, and obviously you guys are doing your part at integrating AI. I mean, you said that your big focus this week, Justin, was predominantly on AI. So yeah. Cool. Well, I'll
just generally
go ahead.
We've been sort of just really focusing on different tasks within LiFi that can be sort of automated better or become more efficient, save people time. We've built out a couple of different products, a couple of different things in-house that are just making our teams more efficient. Just different pipelines, different sort of, we've got so many different verticals within LiFi. We've scaled to around 120 people now. I think it's 121 actually. So the company is scaling very fast, and we've just been sort of optimizing processes wherever we can. So between our new workplace automation engineer and our head of AI, we're making a lot of moves to just be able to free up more time for people to work on things that really matter. So that's really exciting. And that's also a thing that I see happening now, is that, these big teams that are sort of so busy, and it can be anyone, any big company that's so busy shipping medial tasks, doing, developers are spending so much time on certain things. So as soon as we start to sort of automate a couple more of these sort of tasks and processes, people just have more time. So it's going to be really interesting to see these companies who are very sort of traditionally in one sort of industry now having the time and the space to, first of all, innovate their current product, but then also be able to prototype and test new features, new things, ways that they can sort of, get more of different industries within their same sort of niche. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that, just seeing people will now have the space for more creativity and think, okay, cool. Like now I don't have to think about every single little nitty gritty detail of how I'm going to build this, but I can think about where's this going? What is this going to unlock? What new industries are going to be popping up in the next 2 years that don't actually exist now? That's one of my most exciting things, is that yes, there's going to be a lot of sort of turmoil in different sort of industries with things getting more efficient, and AI is sometimes doing it better. But at the same time, we're going to unlock things that we haven't even thought about yet. We never thought about laptops and cell phones and all of that stuff 50 years ago. Now it seems like, it's just an everyday thought. Now, what are we thinking? What's going to be in 50 years' time now? We've got such crazy people working on such crazy technology. Now we're plugging these systems in that just make everything more efficient, free up more time for these minds to just explore. So yeah, that's what I'm the most excited about, is to just see what new things actually come up that really don't exist yet.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more on that. The last thing I want to say before we move on to my next couple of questions, I wonder what schools are going to be doing in like 10, 15 years from now, because hell, if you've got like an AI, like, Claude or Gemini or whatever, that AI can literally answer any question pretty much, like any mathematical equation, any geography, history, whatever related question. It almost makes you wonder, like, what is the point of even going to school if you've got a tool that can tell you everything that you need to know at the click of a button? I mean, I guess we had the internet 10 years ago, but I feel like there could be a shift in education. Like, are kids going to be learning how to use AI, or are they going to be just like doing the regular education system? Like, how is AI going to be incorporated into the schooling system? So I think that's something to think about as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna have to shift, and it's gonna have to change. I mean, think about getting a test. I'll look back at my engineering thesis. So in my final year of engineering, I had to write this thesis, and I got given such a complicated topic that it took me a month to decipher and figure out how am I going to, first of all, understand what they're asking me to do and write about. And I have to write an entire thesis on this. And it took me a month to fine tune that just title into something that I was actually able to research and write about. I think about now, I could put that into Claude and say, what does this mean? Spit out 5 different ways that I could tackle this paper, and it would immediately tell me everything that I need to know. And then it can go and do the research for me as well. So it's crazy to think. So the whole testing system is definitely going to have to shift. I think not having AI in schools is silly. That's just your students are going to fall behind. But I still at the same time think that there's various factors that we have been taught, and through your schooling career, your university career, you're taught a way to think. So that's what I saw in engineering, was that the way that they teach you to think about certain things is the skill. You forget various different pieces of information. If I was to go write those tests again, probably wouldn't do very well at all. But it's the systems of thinking that you learn. So I think school is going to flip more to like systems, and like how can you teach people sort of how to have these various different levels and sort of ways that they think, and then the tools are going to be there to put in the information when they need it. So it's very interesting. So I think the teachers now and the different sort of people creating these syllabus and these sort of curriculums, they've got a big job ahead of them, because they've got to now balance, like, what is sort of a teenage mind as that's growing? How do you shape that in this new world that nobody's ever dealt with before? You've got kids now being born into a world, all they are going to know is this. Like,
exactly.
It's crazy to think. So I'm excited to see sort of what different people come up with, what the different systems are that people sort of implement, and then we can see sort of which ones are working the best. But yeah, I think the education system is definitely going to have to shift hugely. Yeah, very interested to see how it happens.
For sure. Alrighty. I'm going to move on with our LiFi questions. I've got a couple more here for you guys. We don't need, I mean, maybe we can do like we'll spend the next 5 minutes trying to do like a little bit of quick fire stuff. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot. Either of you can answer, but let's go for it. So LiFi aggregates multiple bridges and liquidity routes. What advantages does that bring compared to just, say, using a single bridge?
Yeah, we can basically set that you get the best price execution. That's basically it.
Okay.
We compare
Simple.
multiple providers, yeah, multiple bridges, multiple liquidity sources, and we provide you the best quote out there.
Yeah, and it's
Perfect.
also really clear in the sort of data that we see, you know, even our best tools only win between sort of 20 to 25% of different routes. So integrating a single provider, you know, even the best, 80% of the time your user's not actually getting the best quote. So that's why we
Right.
integrate so many different protocols, because all the different protocols specialize in slightly different things. Like each bridge may have sort of a various set of chains that they sort of work best on, or some might only do gas tokens. Some might be able to bridge native assets to a different chain. Some of them do
Got
mint
you.
and burn of different interrupt standards. So yeah, there's a lot to sort of how, if you want a full cross-chain stack, you need so many different tools. And to manage those is a nightmare. So that's why, you know, integrating one
Got you.
API to all of that, easy.
Amazing. Okay, then next up, how does LiFi determine the best route for a transaction? I mean, obviously you scan various different things, but I mean, like, is there more technical explanation, or is it as simple as that?
Yeah, we have our own internal router that is all the time calculating and calling all these different providers to check what's the best route. But then on the API side, you can customize the API. So you can choose the routes by the fastest one, by the cheapest one, or you can blacklist or whitelist different liquidity providers, different bridges. So it really depends
Amazing.
on the integration side as well. Let's suppose you only want to work with X amount of bridges because you have certain dependencies on that. And yeah, you can basically get all of them through the same API and whitelist the only the bridges that you want to work with.
Right. Okay, well, that kind of already answers my next question, which is it optimizing for speed, cost, or reliability? Because, you know, obviously certain chains, sometimes you can have like 2 or 3 failed transactions, and then eventually it goes through. Then you've obviously got your cost as well, which is a factor, and then speed. So is there a specific kind of thing that you guys optimize for? I mean, I'm assuming it would be price, right? That's like your main
That's the default
optimization.
setup.
Right.
If I'm not, yeah,
Okay.
the default setup, if I'm not wrong, is by cheapest route. But then,
Okay.
yeah, as mentioned, we have multiple options. You can
Okay.
choose, yeah. That's on the API level and also on the widget, I believe. If you go to
Yeah.
Jumper, which is our B2C, our consumer app, you can also reorder the routes by fastest and cheapest.
Yeah, just adding to
Amazing.
what
All right.
we're talking about now with sort of how we group together these different transactions. If you are going for the cheapest route or the just cheapest option, we might do swaps on a DEX and then to an interrupt token standard, then do that transfer mint and burn across chain if that's going to get you the best price. If you're going for speed, then often an intent-based bridge will be the fastest because they sort of get your intent and they just fill you to the destination chain. And then as soon as they've proved that happen, they get your funds on the source chain. So often those sort of intent-based systems are a lot faster. So that's what the sort of API will optimize for if you're going for speed. You can get filled cross-chain in between 1 and 3 seconds on average using these intent-based bridges.
Amazing.
Yeah, based on what the desire is, then we change sort of what we do on the back end.
Okay. All right. Then next up, I just want to talk a little bit about security, because obviously cross-chain historically has been one of the most hacked areas in crypto. How does LiFi approach security differently, and what guarantees does LiFi offer its customers for, you know, if something goes wrong or whatever? Like, is there anything, like, how does that kind of look?
Yeah, so we have regular audits at LiFi. We also have our head of security, which is currently monitoring all these different providers and our own internal system. Plus, we are one of the only companies that do regular pen tests. So we've been actively doing this for the past few years. And yeah, that's basically it. We are monitoring all the time all the different transactions. We also have the ability to blacklist ban addresses that have been involved in different hacks that and also that also want to route those hacked funds through us, because we work with chain analysis, so we get all that info from them. And yeah, that's how we approach security nowadays.
Amazing. Okay, great. Then another question I wanted to ask, and this is a bit of a double barrel question, but with your guys' kind of experience so far, which chains would you say are the most popular? Which chains are the least popular? And which chains are the easiest to work with? And which chains are the absolute worst to work with? Be honest.
No, in terms of chains, I think the markets change so fast. So there is no right answer for that. Of course, we have popular chains such as Solana, Ethereum mainnet, Base, Arbitrum. That's why Justin is actively working on the Solana ecosystem, because when we see activity in those ecosystem and that activity persists over time, we decide to go all in with that, and that's why Justin joined us over a year ago. And our presence on the Solana ecosystem has improved a lot since he joined, and that's great. And we truly believe there is a huge potential on Solana, and that's why we are also growing super fast on the ecosystem as well. I don't know, Justin, from your point of view, if you want to add something there, but
Yeah, so I think, like Julian mentioned, we've got a lot of our big routes are sort of Ethereum, Arbitrum. A lot of different flows go to obviously Hypercore, HyperEVM. I would say those are quite tricky. Hypercore and HyperEVM specifically are just a little bit more tricky than other chains to work with. They've got a lot of different sort of built-in functionalities that they are sort of quite, call it, opinionated on. So yeah, that's been interesting. We've actually got a guy called As Required. I'm sure you guys have seen him on X somewhere. But he is sort of leading our Hyperliquid team at the moment. So we've got a full Hyperliquid squad that is just working on those ecosystems and really optimizing our offering for them. We've got pretty much the most comprehensive offering for those ecosystems now. All of the different sort of nitty-gritty functionalities are pretty much covered. We've got a really exciting product going live in the next couple of weeks as well, based on those sort of ecosystems. I can't say too much about that. But yeah, so there's various different chains that are a little bit more complicated, be it the language that they're coded in, be it, there's a lot of different factors which sort of providers are working with those chains. So it's, everything ebbs and flows. You see some chains launching with insane amounts of TVL and then completely dropping off over the next couple of months, and it's pretty much just down only. So it's quite hard to tell what chains are going to be strong in the beginning. So chains that work with us for their day one of launch, we never really know. We can take sort of, an educated opinion on it. But yeah, it's interesting to see how all of these chains sort of play out. But yeah, as mentioned, we've got our major chains that we really focus on, that we've got really strong offerings on. And yeah, I think we provide these services for day one of chains, and then we really, as Julian said, like hone in on chains that are proving to work. They've got users, they've got protocols being used, and yeah, there's just sort of a budding ecosystem around those. Then we will really go in there and make sure that we've got the right expertise in house to really capitalize on those different opportunities.
Amazing. Awesome. Great take, guys. Before we wrap up, I just want to ask a little bit more about Jumper, because we've been very focused on LiFi today. And I think we need to give a little bit of love to Jumper as well. So tell us briefly, obviously it's you can do cross-chain swaps. Can you bridge on there as well?
That is a cross-chain swap.
Yeah, everything that is available for LiFi.
That's a stupid question. Sorry.
Well,
same difference, really.
Yeah. As it stands, Jumper was sort of mainly bridging, swapping, same chain. So actually, if you look at our volumes, around 50%, it's around 50-50 between sort of cross-chain transfers and same chain swaps. So there's that sort of offering was the sort of core of our product. We also do a lot of campaigns with different chains and different protocols to drive different TVL to these protocols and different ecosystems. We've also, if you go onto Jumper now, there's a product up there called Jumper Earn, which is built off the back of our Composer engine that we just launched. So that was sort of the DeFi yield opportunities. So you can actually go in there and see all the different sort of chains that we've integrated, all the different protocols there. And now you're actually able to sort of deposit directly into these different yield opportunities. But Jumper itself is actually taking on a new path towards becoming a super app and really just integrating, as you know, all of the relevant and important features that an application should have now. Jumper is going to be building out that app to essentially to be a one-stop shop for anything you want to do on chain. So that's sort of vision there. Yeah, we're doing around, I would say, $2 to $3 billion a month on there at the moment. So the volumes are there. And I think that's only just going to keep scaling as we sort of release all of these new products that we've been working on.
Incredible.
I mean, you guys could do a live with the Jumper team as well. So
yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I see that there's also Jumper Travel, which is very, very cool. But we can dive into that for sure. We'll maybe one of you boys can help us to set that up with the Jumper team. Would love to get them on here as well.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Seb, I know that there was something you wanted to share. I saw a message from you in the chat and you said, "Oh, this is an absolute banger." Something to do with Netrunner.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, what we can do is like I guess we can share that at the end once the guys have bounced it. We don't have to stick around for our Netrunner shill at the end of the stream, but yeah, we just released like AI automations on our or AI automatic AI suggestions for taxes for Solana taxes.
Incredible. Congrats.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Yeah, obviously it's been a journey building the tax tool, so we're pretty pumped with that. But in general, honestly, it's been great to have you guys on.
For sure.
Definitely keen to chat to the Jumper team as well. Obviously, big shout out to our homie there, Justin, making all of us South Africans proud. And Julian, thanks for coming as well, man. Really, really good to meet you and chat. And just awesome to learn a little bit more about LiFi. You got to get that right.
Yeah, you see, you almost messed up there.
yeah, LiFi. It actually kind of sounds like a little bit of the way I'm going to remember it now is in South Africa we have a. I'm sure you guys all know what I'm saying. LiFi.
Oh my god,
LiFi.
LiFi.
So yeah. So LiFi. Like so I'll remember that.
Like my love.
Yeah. In South Africa.
Is it LiFi or LiFi?
It's LiFi.
LiFi.
You see.
LiFi. I'm gonna say LiFi in my head, so I remember that it's LiFi. You know?
Right. We're all gonna get this.
Anyway, we'll get it.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining, guys. Really, really appreciate it. It was great having you up.
Cool. Thanks a lot for having us, guys. Yeah, it was great to chat.
Yeah, thanks for doing this.
And nice to see you guys again.
Yeah, take care, man. We'll see both of you soon.
All right, cheers, boys.
Bye, guys.
It's
Alrighty.
just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
Well, thanks for everyone who's still here and watching. Really appreciate everyone turning out as always. And yeah, just a little quick update on some of the stuff we've been doing for Netrunner. Obviously, if you need a Solana tax tool this season, Netrunner is just absolutely cooking at the moment. We've got so many new updates and things that have come out, such as perp support for Flash Trade and for Jupiter. We also have perp support for Drift coming very, very soon. And I'm just going to share a little bit of something that's really exciting, but we've just added, recently, I think it was about last week, we added a new feature that is honestly just awesome. And it's just going to help make your tax experience a lot more manageable. So I'll just play this video in the background. So basically we have AI recommendations. So you can actually get a suggestion on a transaction if it's not, if it's unknown on the platform, as you can see here, actually give you a percentage accuracy as well of what it thinks. So you can actually see that that's 87%. So, with pretty good accuracy that it's got it right. That's 42. So, take that into account when you're busy using the feature. But yeah, honestly, this just makes it so much easier for you to detect transactions and take control, so that you don't feel like you're lost when you're doing your crypto taxes, right? We try and auto label as much as possible on Netrunner, but we can't get everything. But as we add more and more programs over time, it's just going to get way better at automatically doing those things for you and adding those labels to specific transactions for programs that you're using. But this AI functionality really helps to kind of just make you close the gap between, what the auto labeling can do and then, getting your taxes to where you need it to be before you export your reports. So yeah, we'll also close off with a video as well that goes over Netrunner. And as you can see at the bottom of the stream there, we've got code LiFi15 for 15% off of Netrunner. So if you use that code at checkout, you get 15% off of our $189 plan, which gives you 100,000 transactions, which is wild. But if you're on Solana, you're going to need a lot of transactions. We also have a free tier as well, which gives you 30,000 transactions. You just obviously cannot export reports and you can't invite an accountant either. But it's a great way to just kind of get a nice overview of what your taxable income could be. And then you can always upgrade to get full functionality and the full feature set. But yeah, other than that, Chris, any other closing remarks?
Yeah, so just to wrap up, we've got Vibu from the Solana Foundation joining us next week for our 20th show, which is quite cool. It's 20th show, got someone big on for you guys. Really, really looking forward to that one. So be sure to be here next week, Wednesday. Going to be an absolute cooker. And other than that, have an amazing weekend ahead, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Also, last thing, keep you guys' eyes peeled, specifically on the Netrunner Tax Twitter at Netrunner Tax. We have an insane event planned with some friends of ours over at Soulflare, and we are looking at some other big partners as well to do probably one of the most interesting live streams you've ever seen on Twitter or within the Solana ecosystem. We're going to be having Professor Mint, who's our CTO, running an ultra marathon while we have a 8-hour long live stream with different guests, different kind of prizes and giveaways, and just kind of like a gamified segments, all to kind of raise money for charity, for Kids Can and for Stand With Crypto as well, the crypto legislation organization pushing for like better legislation in America. So that's going to be awesome, but we'll provide more details, but keep your eyes peeled. That's going to be awesome. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Peace out.
Peace.